Welcome to the show. It gives me great pleasure as always to introduce Mr. Matt Brown. Morning to you, Matt.
Good morning.
Got to say, good luck to Zach on his new webinar on a daily basis. Zach,
Indeed.
if you're watching, good luck.
Best of
right,
luck.
let's kick off with market movers. Theresa May, will she go away? Pound lower as 40 MPs vote against the Prime Minister. Conspiracy theory. I didn't watch the gunpowder plot. Apparently it was very violent. Is this going the same way?
Infamy. They've all got it infamy. Infamy, indeed. Look, she's had situations like this before. A lot of backbenchers, career politicians, trying to stick the knife in, which I understand. The no confidence in Prime Minister May from her backbenchers, but this is a critical point. We're negotiating with the Europe on the divorce bill. A lot of figures being touted around, and it's very hard for Theresa May if a party aren't backing her, let alone the government, let alone the country, when she's going to Europe to do this. And European leaders will be laughing at her. They'll see this weakness and realise they can probably get a few more billion into their coffers on the back of this because she's in such a weak position. It's certainly not good for the pound. The market's reacted to that this morning, down over one big figure against cable. Usually you'd see the FTSE rally on the back of that, but it hasn't. And then again, it means UK PLC and investors proceeding with caution with regards to this. So pound being lower, not necessarily FTSE 100 buying opportunity today.
Well, it did tickle me. The weekend press talking about Wall Street pricing in a hard landing in terms of the Brexit strategy. Those clever people in the newspaper. Mm-hmm. Right, let's kick off with FTSE One to Watch. BAE Systems, all about defence.
Yeah, defence. We've seen Rolls-Royce, BAE Systems, Babcock International trading down, partly because Ultra Electronics, smaller company, has come out with a profit warning, down 20%. The CEO is stepping down after 28 years, and he's been quite candid in that position where he's come out and said, look, the Ministry of Defence is pausing, cancelling or delaying programmes over the recent weeks. Now, this may be government uncertainty going on and getting budgets through, etc., but this is certainly for the defence stocks bad news. So they're trading down about 2-3% on the main board this morning. UK defence budgets may be cut, defence spending is less. However, a lot of these companies operate in the US, and believe it or not, the US is increasing its defence spending. So if these guys can negotiate a good, strong contract in the US, that will benefit. But again, that comes down to the UK getting trade deals, its own trade deals with the US to help these guys out.
Understood. Let's talk about small caps. One to watch, Fishing Republic. Now, I remember reading about these fairly recently. They sort of set up these big warehouses for fishermen.
Yes, indeed. Selling rods and tackles and the like. They've had a big rollout. They've been on the market since September. They've had a profit warning today, down 40%. The cost of expansion is too much. They haven't dealt with their online presence as well as they could. So there's been some question marks about this stock, the company expanding, the capital expenditure involved in a market that isn't necessarily growing and potentially is moving online. I actually did my first fly fishing this weekend, believe it or not. First time I've ever done it. Trout 1, Matt Brown 0, nothing caught, stood by a freezing cold lake. I will not be going out and buying a rod anytime soon.
But I've fished in the past, okay? Unless you get a massive fish on the line, okay, you're never ever going to replace your rod.
No.
I always thought you buy it for a lifetime. But
it's, well, they call it fishing, not catching, and I certainly wasn't catching at the weekend.
Very good. Right, let's talk about currencies. The Great British Pound, 130.72.
Yeah, there could be the 131. There was some key. It was a key level at that technical level at that handle. There was a lot of supply and demand above that. Now we're moving through that 131. The next stop could be the low 130s. There is a bearish outlook on this currency pair, certainly this morning.
Okay, let's talk about broker upgrades and downgrades. Today, Coca-Cola, JP Morgan going from an overweight position to a neutral.
Yeah, downgrading. This Coca-Cola HBC, the bottling plant based in Eastern European. It is a FTSE 100 constituent, trading down about 2-3% on the back of this. One to watch. Yeah, so selling off a little bit today on the back of the story.
Core number?
Core number, minus 0.8%. This is the reduction in house prices, average house prices in the UK, according to Rightmove in November. Now, November's usually a time when people will deliberately put their prices down to try and attract a buyer in before the Christmas period, because obviously the market does slow down. So I wouldn't read too much into it. We're seeing on the front page of City AM, up and away. Developers want to reach for the sky, so they're looking at new legislation to allow house builders to build up to the nearest building in the area or the highest tree. So onwards and upwards, maybe more tower blocks as we saw in the 60s, 70s on the horizon and beyond.
I'm not
Hopefully
sure that's
not.
good for society, but
No.
there you go. In terms of the economic calendar today in the US, monthly budget statement, so
Yeah.
quite dull on macro today.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very quiet on the macro front. Look out for this. It's expected to come in at minus $50 billion for October. That's quite a big number. That may get the dollar traders going. But really, today, very, very data light. And I think certainly for UK traders, looking at Theresa May and the UK government and the pound mainly will be the trade today.
Matt, thank you very much indeed.